First of our doubleheader on TNT tonight. It is a 10-point Oklahoma City lead at a third.
Mentioned, and we just weren't in a great rhythm, but it wasn't out of lack of trying, and then we found it throughout the half. I thought our defense kept the game close, and then we were able to open up it at the end.
Coach, thanks for doing this for us.
Thank you, guys.
Mark Dagnall. And what a job he has done. 38-year-old head coach, a Massachusetts native. Went to college at UConn, now in his fourth year. Last year, he finished second in the voting for NBA Coach of the Year. Helped guide Oklahoma City to the play-in tournament and winning in the first round of that play-in. And now they are poised to make a run this year. This feels like the year they could pop. That's going to be a loose ball foul on the Thunder. Chet Holmgren will be called for the foul as Sochan hits the deck, and it'll be Spurs ball here. 10-point Thunder lead. Stan, your thoughts? We asked Coach Dagnall his thoughts about that first half, but their pressure defensively really changed the way the game flowed for the Spurs.
Oh, absolutely. Not only the turnovers forced and scoring on, but the number of deflections that disrupted the rhythm of the San Antonio offense.
Wembanyama cannot connect. 8 points for Wembanyama, 8 rebounds in that first half. Holmgren fires a three. Wembanyama with the rebound. He's on his way to a double-double. Chet Holmgren with 5 points and 4 rebounds at this point. Slow start for Holmgren. Vassell had the hot hand of the second quarter. And Champagnie, who got his first start tonight with the steal. Kind of a ragged game in the first half for the Spurs. Thunder made it that way as Champagnie misses. Holmgren fights for the board.
That was a great pass out of the post.
Giddey
attacks
and lays it in. He was a difference maker in the second quarter.
Well, Giddey is an outstanding player. Puts the ball on the floor, attacks the basket. Great passer, has excellent size. Nice left-handed finish there. He's a highly skilled guy. Look, this starting lineup for Oklahoma City is young and very, very talented.
Their starters coming into play today, third in total points, third in field goal percentage, second in three-point percentage, and Gilgeous-Alexander takes advantage of another Spurs turnover. Greg Popovich wants the timeout. Thunder 17-0 run for the Thunder going back into the second quarter. They've carried it on in the third quarter, and they lead it by 14 points. Greg Popovich just gave his team an earful during that last timeout. Let's see if the Spurs respond here. Late clock. Collins, quick pass to Champagnie, and the three-pointer no good. Did it touch rim or not? Did not. It'll be a shot clock violation.
Well, Oklahoma City can just stay home on their men when the ball goes to Zach Collins in the post against Chet Holmgren. He has not looked to attack at all, has put no pressure on the defense. Zach Collins has offensive skills. He's got to be a threat down there.
Collins just 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting. He's missed his 2 3-point tries. Jalen Williams to Gilgeous-Alexander. What a combo they are. Each went for 30+ against the Suns, and Gilgeous-Alexander with 19 now for the Thunder. Coach, he's got 7 games already of the 9 he's played where he has scored 30 or more points. A scoring machine. Wembanyama keeps it alive, but the loose ball foul on the big man. Gilgeous-Alexander standing his ground.
And here it is. He has got one of the best change of pace moves in the league as he uses it there to finish. And then Wembanyama over the top gets called for the foul.
Gilgeous-Alexander has led the Thunder 8 times in scoring already this year. Of the 10 games they have played, and his 9 games he's played, is Holmgren misses a 3. Wembanyama with the rebound. That gives him 10 boards. Sochan, 3 good.
Sochan has opened the year shooting the 3 extremely well. Doesn't shoot many of them, but he's making what he gets, and that makes him a bigger threat.
39% three-point shooter. And Josh Giddey, little runner. Giddey's got so much game. out of Australia. He's just 21 years of age. Already has 8 triple doubles in his career. Giddey with the head up, looking for Dort. Giddey gets it right back. Playmaking. Holmgren throws it down. Giddey's got another dime. That's his 6th assist to go along with 12 points. 18-point Oklahoma City lead. Vassell. Dort may have disrupted that shot from behind. And now Giddey running the floor and lays it in. Oklahoma City on the attack.
It done.
Quietly putting together some great numbers here. No player with more rebounds and assists before age 21 in NBA history. And you see he joins Luka and LeBron. Stat-stuffing machine, Josh Giddey. And he's kind of been, playing his game, but also trying to fit in a different role and a new role with the Thunder. And he's having a great game here tonight. Spurs miss again. Giddey with the rebound. Spurs have missed 13 of their last 14 shots. Thunder on a 12-2 run here. 23-2 if you go back into the second quarter as Collins had it knocked out of his hands. Dort with a save. Here come the Thunder in transition. Gilgeous-Alexander throws it into gear, loses it out of bounds, and a turnover. It'll be Spurs ball. Take a look at our FanDuel live point spread for tonight's game. Start of the game, 10.5 for the Thunder. Right now at 19.5 as they have stretched this lead to 20. It was a 10-point halftime lead for Oklahoma City. Sohan gets his own, lost it, and Spurs ball, saying Williams touched it last. Jalen Williams wants Mark Dagnall to take a look at this, and he will challenge. And the Spurs almost got it back on the inbounds. That'll stay Thunder ball here. 20-point Oklahoma City lead. This has been a burst. That is an extended burst here. About 7.5 minutes of game clock.
Got to get this over quick.
And Giddey lost the handle out of bounds. Spurs go full court pressure right there. Get the ball right back.
Was that first possession coming out, though, that created that, because they got the ball back with only 19 on the clock, made them rush the ball up the floor. That created the turnover.
Sohan guarded by Gilgeous-Alexander. Sohan spins on him and misses the layup. Up ahead, Williams. And Giddey running the floor. He left it for Holmgren. Sohan up ahead, nice catch, and Williams will be called for the foul. Sloppy play here, the last couple of possessions for both teams.
Well, Giddey just got way too unselfish there. He had a layup. He wanted to set up his big guy, but he's got to put that ball in the basket. I mean, I admire the unselfishness, but it turns into a turnover. He wanted to get Holmgren a dunk.
Holmgren had no idea a pass was coming.
Couldn't have caught it if he did.
Malachi Branham looking for some space here. Wembanyama up and over Holmgren. Dort keeps it alive for Giddey. Lou Dort so good at that, keeping those rebounds in the air. If he can't grab it, he usually gives his teammates a chance. As Gilgeous-Alexander, saucy. And the three-pointer falls for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Well, everybody came to see the two big guys tonight, and they are talented young guys that we're going to enjoy for a lot of years. But what the fans are really seeing is a show put on by one of the best guards in the NBA.
Second chance here for the Spurs. Branham with the dunk.
Well, and that's Oklahoma City's problem. Mark Dagnall knows it. They are not a good rebounding team, and they give up a lot of second chance points. They've got to offset that by creating a lot of turnovers.
Giddey again goes strong. He's fouled. How about this move from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Look at the space he creates on that.
He usually leads the Thunder in scoring. Last year, 94% of the games played, he was their top scorer. That was the most in the NBA. He's averaging just shy of 30. Scan the QR code. Visit NBA.com/style challenge.
I'm going to have to do that.
You know, you have stepped up your game.
I'm going to have to do that.
You're looking sharp tonight, Stan.
I'm going to have to post one, and
I'll do the video for you. I'll shoot it.
That'd be good.
Branham, a little push shot is good.
Branham's good in that mid-range, getting into the paint, knocking down shots.
Second-year player out of Ohio State, had 1 year there. Gilgeous-Alexander, crossover, step back. Can't hit it. That was a highlight waiting to happen. Devontae Graham begging that three-pointer, missed. 21-point Thunder lead. And Branham and Collins cannot connect. Good defense, active hands for the Thunder all night long. 12 to shoot here for the Spurs.
This is a tough team to play against for anybody. They are long, active, and disruptive. But then when you don't have a true point guard on the floor, it becomes almost impossible, and another Thunder steal.
17 turnovers for the Spurs. Giddey had denied by Vassell. Here comes Graham. Cedi Osman runs into Williams. And now the Spurs get it reset. Collins goes to the basket. Vassell passed him open. Nice look there by Vassell. Mark Dagnall once back in the group play of the in-season tournament. Kings and Spurs, Suns and Jazz. Log on to the NBA app. Spurs in this third quarter with 5 turnovers, just 4 made field goals. Isaiah Joe, free spaces inside and the dunk, and Oklahoma City getting just about whatever they want right now against the Spurs. Vassell kicks it. Good ball movement here. Branham for 3, missed it badly. Gilgeous-Alexander with 22 points. Guarded by Vassell. Double team comes. Here's Isaiah Joe for 3.
Isaiah Joe's been one of the best three-point shooters in this league for a couple of years. Very dangerous coming off the bench. That's actually what set up the layup he had earlier, was his shooting, and he got overplayed and back cut.
Bassi able to answer for San Antonio. Isaiah Joe had a career high in three-pointers last year. Made 161 threes. He shot at 41% a year ago. Gilgeous-Alexander, a giveaway. Vassell jumps it. Vassell. And it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be a foul. So Joe picks up the foul. 3:15 remaining in this third quarter, 80-58. Extended run here for Oklahoma City. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, the Thunder. They're back home for just this one game. They went on a West Coast trip, finished in Phoenix on Sunday. They come home for just the one game, and then they go back on the West Coast. 2 of the youngest teams in the NBA, 1 and 2, Spurs and Thunder. So they can handle the travel.
Yeah, it's the winning part of going on the road that becomes difficult. Not the actual travel.
Thunder have not won a game in this in-season tournament. They're 0-2, must win tonight if they want to stay alive. Gilgeous-Alexander with 24 points now. Isaiah Joe sprinting down the floor, and he gets a steal, and it's another Spurs turnover. And in transition, Giddey on a feed from Gilgeous-Alexander. This is a clinic by the Thunder tonight.
Well, that's just a giveaway on that turnover.
Branham had a block from behind. Giddey at 6'8", hardly needed to jump. Gilgeous-Alexander is fouled on his way in.
This is it. OKC now outscoring San Antonio 22-2 on the fast break.
Forcing 18 turnovers. No standings here in this Group C in the West, that point differential on the side, that matters. So if there ends up a tie, and it's likely you may get a 2-2 tie or 3-1 tie, the point differential will be the first level of tiebreaker. Got 6 groups, 3 in each conference. The winner of each group will advance to the knockout rounds, and 2 wild card teams, 1 wild card in each conference as well. It should be fun. It's all going to end up for the NBA Cup in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think especially as these teams earn their way in and get into that final 8 where it's single elimination play, you're going to see a lot of excitement. And I think the fans are going to like it, and I think the players are going to have a lot to play for.
Jalen Williams gives it up. Lou Dort, high arcing 3, no good. And there's McDermott with a rebound. Yeah, it gives you something to play for early, taking a page out of the soccer book. You certainly want to win a division. You want to put yourself in a position at the end of the season with a good seed. But now the NBA Cup is in play, and
look, 82 games is long, and so November, these early season games, it's hard to see the end of the tunnel, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. And now you've got something to play for here early in the year in November and early December. I think it's great. And I think the other thing to the people criticizing it is, you know, all the traditionalists were also against the play-in, which has become a very successful thing.
Yeah.
You know, so the NBA is always looking for ways to improve the game, especially for our fans, and I think they deserve credit for that.
Yeah, I do too. Well, the courts are interesting. The players, you know, are playing the game the same way. I mean, they're going through their normal routine, but then you're hearing from players, you step on the floor, it feels different. There's a little more buzz about some of these games, and it'll really feel different once we get into the knockout rounds, and then you get to Las Vegas. And once you go through it once, that'll be something to shoot for early in the season.
Absolutely. I think it's a very good innovation by the NBA, and I think as people get used to it, they'll start to enjoy it.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, how does he do it?
What a finish.
Seems to always find the smallest window to get his shot up. Almost another turnover. Again, the Spurs' lack of a point guard is really showing up here. Jetty Osman for 3, reins one in. Spurs needed that in a big way.
Well, this is about as good a three-point lineup as the Spurs can put on the floor with McDermott and Osman and Devontae Graham.
Maybe the only way back in. Cason Wallace pitches it to the corner. Micic was on the sideline and a turnover.
Going left, Gilgeous-Alexander has one of the best hesitation moves in the game, and he's as good a below-the-rim finisher as anybody I've seen since the great Rod Strickland.
High praise. Another Spurs turnover, and Micic walked with it. Little carry. Oklahoma City gives it right back. What is it about Gilgeous-Alexander? He's got wingspan. It looks like he surprises players with how quick his release is and how he can get the ball on the glass.
Well, and he's got such a variety of finishes, you know.
Graham is fouled and one here. Devontae Graham, chance at a three-point play.
You know, we talk about NFL quarterbacks who can throw from different angles. You talk about pitchers in baseball who can adjust their angle. He delivers the ball. Gilgeous-Alexander delivers the ball on drives from different angles. He's creative. It's hard for shot blockers to get into a rhythm with him.
Well, Jared Greenberg, he finished 5th last year in the MVP voting, and he's putting together another great start to this season.
Yeah, All-NBA selection last year, and it truly feels, as much as the attention tonight is on Chet Holmgren versus Victor Wembanyama, that SGA is the next in what has become a long line of superstars for this organization. You had Kevin Durant, you had Russell Westbrook, and now SGA. But what makes him unique unique in speaking with people around the organization is that so often you hear that superstars have this gravitational pull that pulls them away from their team to be an individual instead of part of the band. They want to be a one-man show. People have told us that SGA stays with the team, does not want to be separated from the team, and is as much about winning as he is about anything else.
Yeah, that's a great call, Jared. And that great night, 28 points, well on his way to another 30-point performance as we kick it over to Jared.
What lies ahead in their future with their flexibility and currency while still having the ability to add even more assets. They've got up to 10 first rounds their way over the next 4 drafts and a treasure trove of second-round picks. They also have the ability to create near max cap space in the summer of 2024. Now, with all of that said, what excites people within the Thunder front office the most is their current roster. So many of their key players are under rookie deals. They also have the development and growth ahead of them. This is a roster that has the ability to add to it based on their cap space, but they don't need to do that. Sam Presti in this front office is going to remain patient, guys, but if they need to, they have the weapons to get even more dangerous.
Yeah, that's a great point. Sam Presti, coach, he's done an amazing job here. He has Spurs ties, of course, was a 22-year-old intern for R.C. Buford with the San Antonio Spurs. Done a brilliant job as first a very young general manager in this league, but you can also say, even though they're very young, the window is kind of open right now as McDermott lays it in, because these guys are going to grow into their contracts and then decisions are going to have to be made.
It gets difficult. That's the part people don't realize. They look at young teams and they think those young teams are just, they're going to grow up together and stay together. Sam Presti's been through it before when he had Durant, Westbrook, Harden, Serge Ibaka. He couldn't keep them all. James Harden went off to Houston. Those decisions are going to have to be made, but Jared brought up the point, they could have max cap space. That cap space can be used to sign your own guys too. So there'll be some tough decisions to make.
Collins on the follow. Jared, though, I like your point about their current roster, though, because all eyes and the shiny thing is all those picks.
Right.
But they put together a roster that they love, and they're going to be, I don't know, cautious maybe is the best word to disrupt that roster.
The alternative that you've seen in the recent trend in the NBA over the last decade is trying to build super teams. When you look back, how many of those super teams have panned out? We saw the Nets last year break up. We're seeing the Phoenix Suns get off to a slow start. The Clippers, with their 4 stars, have not won a...
Yeah, they're both sort of explaining to each other. I don't think anybody's too upset. They've both been in worse altercations than that one.
Vasilije Micic at the line here for the Thunder.
It's already his second miss tonight at the line.
Micic has only played in 4 games now. 1 out of 2. 25-point Oklahoma City lead. Champagny, he'll pull it himself. Missed it badly. Wallace with the rebound. Thunder on a monster run here. Outscored the Spurs by 28 going back into that second quarter, late in the second quarter. Remember, they finished on a 13-0 run to finish the half. Micic knifes his way in, and he leaves it for Williams, the guy who protected him.
Well, they just continue to attack. Drive it in the paint, kick it out. They don't have the shot, drive it again and again and again. They're just dominating in the paint area.
Bench players getting some good minutes here in this fourth quarter. Wallace comes out of the pack. Almost lost a dribble. And he'll get it reset here. Williams with Sohan on him. Pass is too hot for Holmgren.
Too hot and too low. Throwing the ball to 7-footers below their waist, particularly with pace like that one had, that's a very difficult pass to handle.
Even as athletic as Wembanyama and Holmgren are, as the Spurs turn it over again, 22 turnovers for San Antonio. They were looking for Wembanyama. Holmgren spins off Collins. Blocked from behind. Wembanyama got him. And now Joe able to force the turnover. Wembanyama's down. Williams lays it in. Boy, the Thunder down and dirty right now. 23 turnovers. Frustrating night for Wembanyama. Joe with the takeaway. And the Thunder cashing in with...
Foul number 34, Cameron Williams. That's his third. Second team foul. Foul, second ball.
111-73, Oklahoma City running away with this one. Spurs have already endured 2 40-point losses this year. And remember, in the in-season tournament, point differential can make a difference. And the Thunder are stacking it up here against the Spurs.
Well, when you turn the ball over 25 times and give up the number of easy baskets that they've given up, 28-2 on fast break points, I mean, you just don't leave yourself much of a chance.
It'll be the end of the night for Wembanyama. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 28. And because the score is as it is, it won't be a 5th consecutive 30-point game for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
You don't think they're going to bring him back?
I don't think so.
No.
Bassey inside, and Bassey with the dunk. Stan, the Spurs are giving up 124 points per game this year. That is the most allowed through the first 10 games since the 90-91 Denver Nuggets. That was under Paul Westhead. That was the year they gave up 144 points. Scoring about that many as well. But this is an area of major concern for San Antonio to try to figure out how to stop teams defensively.
I actually think, I know they're giving up a lot of points tonight, but I honestly think the bigger problem by far tonight has been their offense. The turnovers have led to easy baskets at the other end. It's hard to put together a defensive effort when you're facing 2-on-1s.
You know that's right, Ernie. And it's gotten a little chippy here, as a matter of fact. Jeremy Sohan with a hard foul, was hit with a flagrant 1. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City just continues to thrive tonight. They have forced 25 Spurs turnovers in this game, turning that into 23 points. And we've had a couple of hard fouls. We had a double tech earlier. Sohan got hit with the flagrant 1 upon review on this swipe down of Holmgren.
Yeah, that was an easy call by the referee.
Another three-pointer is good. Lindy Waters comes in and gets in the act. The Oklahoma City native from Norman, but born in Oklahoma City. Dominic Barlow getting some run here for San Antonio. Mann's been a nice little push here for the Spurs as well. Okashevsky, he'll let it fly from three-point range. Well, these two teams, both very entertaining young teams with two players that are going to change the game in Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama. But once again, as is usually the case, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander stealing the show for the Thunder. And the Thunder are for real once again.
Well, they are, and they've got 18 steals tonight. Just incredible, and that's how they play. They are an active, disruptive defensive team and create offense off their defense, and we've seen it tonight.
Shooting the lights out right now. Trey Mann has come on. He's going to make sure he gets his here. Oklahoma City, 3rd in the NBA in field goal percentage. They're top 5 in three-point percentage. They lead the NBA in free throw shooting. And Mark Daigneault said something interesting today to us, because their rebounding numbers are poor. That's the one area. It's another 3 falls for Lindy Waters. He said he thinks they could fix the rebounding issue right away. And I think a lot of that has to do with Jalen Williams on the bench, Jay Will. But he says they're going to try to clean it up in a different way and play through that to be better on the rebounding side and not overreact to that. I'd love to get your thoughts about that, because that is the one area of concern for the Thunder right now.
Well, I'd say a couple things. He's right, but in an effort to get more rebounding, and Coach Daigneault said this, to get more rebounding, you give up maybe too much offense and the problems you create. Every team, even the best.
To 82. Spurs trying to avoid their third 40-point loss of the season tonight. They've had a 41-point loss, a 40-point loss. Spurs got off to a 3-2 start, had back-to-back wins against the Suns on the road. We had one of those games as Champagny hits a three. They had a big comeback that night a couple of Tuesdays ago, but they are on their way to their 6th consecutive loss. And it's going to be an up and down year for San Antonio. Experience year for Victor Wembanyama. But they are getting exposed here tonight, especially with the ball handling. As another three-pointer falls for the Thunder. Aaron Wiggins gets into the book.
Well, I mean, the problem of not having your guards and Keldon Johnson is out. When you're a young team like this, you don't have a lot of margin for error anyway. And people being out, it's just magnified. You know, teams with great depth can survive people being out. The Spurs cannot.
Johnson and Trey Jones not expected to be out long. No timetable on a return. But those are two big pieces for the Spurs in this one as Wiggins gets the block. Looked like he was trying to set up a lob. And we take this one to the finish line. For Oklahoma City, it's going to be their first in-season tournament victory. They started 0-2, keep themselves alive, trying to survive into the knockout phase. And a resounding victory here tonight over San Antonio. First matchup of the year. They'll do it again in January. 4 meetings this season between these two teams. Second team with 3 30-point losses in their first 11 games. The Spurs will be handed one here tonight. Thunder go to 7-4, and they have won 4 of their last 5 now. Heading back on the road. Another West Coast road trip coming up for Oklahoma City. Spurs are going to drop to 3-8, 6 straight losses.